Homework number 1. When you log into Delta Math, the topics for each homework assignment will be listed on the main dashboard. To the left of the words is a white circle with 5 sections in it. Each section will light up blue every time you've answered a question correctly. Here is an example. If 2 answers are correct, you will see 2 blue pieces. Once you've answered 5 questions correctly, the circle will complete, and over here will be a 5 over 5. So right now, this shows 2 questions correct out of 5 questions needed. So you have to get 5 questions right in order to complete each topic. The overall score will appear right here next to the word grade. So right now, I've successfully completed 7% of the homework by answering only 2 questions. As soon as you've answered all of the questions, this grade will become a 100. Let's take a look at how you view the questions. I'm going to choose the first topic here, two-step equations. You'll notice here at the top, I see my progress bar, I see my question, and I see an answer field down here where I can type my answer. You can either use the keyboard on your computer, or you can open this virtual keyboard here where you're able to enter the information without an actual keyboard. If you are unsure how to answer a question, you have 2 options up here on the right. You can either watch a video of a question being solved, or you can simply look at a printed example. Let's take a look at this one first. In this example, you'll see that they have shown a work step and they've explained what they've done here on the right. Then they rewrote the answer after that work was performed, and again they showed another work step and described it here on the right. You also have an option to watch a video of it in progress. Once you press play,
two-step equations. Solve for x. So we have 7d is equal to negative 8x.
You'll hear a person walking through the problem just like I'm doing here. You're going to need some scrap paper to work out each of these problems on your own. Let's take a look at this first example. If I were to use an inverse operation and try to clear all of the numbers that are on the same side as my variable, then I would add 11 to both sides. When I do that, and I rewrite my question, I now have a variable y being divided by a negative 11. So the inverse of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 11, giving me the answer of negative 88. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to answer the question incorrectly. When Delta Math tells you that you're incorrect, it will show you the actual solution here, and it will show you what you typed down there. So you'll notice that I forgot to write the negative sign, but all of the rest of my math is the same. If you get an answer wrong, you should go through each of these steps to see what type of mathematical error you made. Up here in the upper right is how you'll get to the next problem. As you answer each question and your progress bar completes, you'll see a new button at the top right. After you've answered your 5th question correctly, the button will now say Next Section instead of Next Problem. And if we go back to our main dashboard here, we'll see that the next section is two-step equations with fractional coefficients. When you click the Next Section button, it will take you directly to the question. It won't bring you back to the dashboard. When you're solving a problem with a fractional coefficient, you're really going to do 2 operations at once. So if we have 5/11ths times a, we have timesing by 5 and dividing by 11. So the inverse of timesing by 5 is dividing by 5. And the inverse of dividing by 11 is timesing by 11. So really what we're doing is we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. We're going to flip that fraction over and get our final response. We'll type our answer here in the answer field box. Again, your progress bar up here will let you know when you've answered 5 correctly. And when you've completed it, the blue circle will turn into a green checkbox. Let's take a look at one example for the next 3 topics, starting with 3-step linear equations. In this problem, we may have variables on both sides of the equation. In order to get these letters on the same side, we need to use the inverse operation of one of these variable terms. And it does not matter which variable term you choose. So you can either subtract 10x from both sides, that is a correct move, or you can subtract 7x from both sides. That is also a correct move. I'm going to choose to subtract 7x because I like my letters on the left-hand side. And when I rewrite, I no longer have variables on both sides. Continue using your inverse operations to isolate your variable. The final step here gives us x is equal to 9. For the next section, you'll need to distribute in order to begin your inverse operations. In this case, we would multiply the coefficient 5 times each of the terms inside, giving us 10y and minus 30. Using your inverse operations, isolate the variable y. The last section here is finding basic patterns in the table. For these examples, we're looking to see what is happening as the x values are increasing. So as my x values are increasing by 1, what is happening to the y values? We can see down here that the y values are also increasing. If you're unsure by how much, go to the second value and subtract the first. That will give you the difference between the two numbers, which is 9. And that makes sense. Plus 9, plus 9, plus 9. So assuming that that's the relationship, I simply add 9 to 40, and I'll find my missing value. For the last section, you will be asked to complete 25 questions in a row. This is a simple skills task. We're going to ask you to combine positive and negative integers. Now, there will be a timer running, but you have an unlimited amount of time. If you make a mistake, however, you have to start over. The task is to get 25 questions correct in a row. So let's get started. Perform this operation, -8 plus 4. Choose your response, and a new question will appear. -6 minus -9, or -6 plus 9. Choose your answer and keep going. If you choose a wrong answer, you'll have to restart. So perform the given operation, And if you make a mistake, you'll have to start over. You will not get a grade above 0 until you get 25 correct in a row. Notice what happens here. I have 23 correct out of 25 problems. So I'm going to answer 2 more to reach my goal. Now, I have a grade of 100%. Once you've completed all of the assignments, a green check will appear in each category, and your grade will be 100% total. Once you have completed the full assignment, there's nothing further for you to do in the Delta Math website. You'll go back to your Google Classroom, to homework number 1 assignment, and mark it as done.